to the biggest show. Can we say that? We probably can't for legal reasons. I am your host, Jerk, and have we got something special for you today? I hope you're all doing well. I am mostly recovered from spring having sprung in the form of a Korean barbecue and a bottle of Scotch festival on Sunday, which, judging by the number of bites on me, got a good portion of the local mosquito population hammered too. But enough about the office antics behind this program. Let's see what we have for you tonight. We have a first-time guest, and I know this has been a long time coming. So let's not beat around the bush mills any longer. Put your hands together for the Tier 7 Global XP Battleship, the oft-forgotten and long-looked-over Monarch. Yes, the Monarch, the Global XP ship I kept putting off while I eagerly awaited the reward to my patience, only to be disappointed time and time again with the release of past campaign ships. So a few weeks ago, I finally picked this up after saying we would only be getting the Odin in this current update, and after much hemming and hawing, settled on this commander and module setup. 2-Buck Chuck hanging with Andy and Paolo. Now, you've most likely heard that the Vanguard and certain other unspecified ships will be getting access to a concealment mod, and I have to wonder if it just won't be all the British battleships. And should the Monarch have access to it too? Oh, baby. This ship could move from the land of misfit toys to being that one person in your yearbook you look at and say, I wish I'd gotten to know them. Yes, right now the Monarch kind of exists in the novelty world of Global XP ships with the Krispy Kreme and Gascon. It's got 3x3 15-inch guns that fire British AP and pretty solid HE2, but for that fast reload and relative stealthiness, you give up a lot of HP. You can see, it's only got 53,900, which ain't a lot. You've also got a pretty big superstructure where you can take a hefty amount of damage, and I can't say I'd want to get this into a brawl too often. I think I'd much rather slink around and choose the engagements on my own terms, which is why, should it get that concealment mod, I think it's going to become a much more interesting ship.
We sank their battleship.
So before we get too far into this match, let me just say that I don't know what the blood sacrifice was that I made. Maybe it was the one to the mosquitoes. But the RNG gods were definitely granting me very good dispersion rolls for the majority of this battle. These results, while not entirely atypical, definitely aren't something I see with the regularity provided by a high-fiber diet that we're seeing in this match. So speaking of this match, we are on the map that was named after the gum that was always loose at the bottom of your mom's purse, Trident. And when you know, 4 out of 5 Krakenologists recommend this map to their patients who like to sink boats. You saw me finish off that Turpitz with the AP, and I have switched over to HE as I plan to deal with this red destroyer should they make the mistake of sitting on B. And I say that is a mistake because they have no support. And speaking of no support, the battleship that spawned with me ran off to the east, and the destroyer that was with me couldn't recognize when it was time to fall back, and was promptly sunk by the aforementioned Turpitz. The crowd gasps as Jerk masterfully controls the Monarch, skillfully avoiding the destroyer turds outside the corner shop. Right now, I am spotted by the destroyer as my smoke firing penalty is still active. But once that bloom shrinks, I should be falling off from detection, and then the destroyer will, not sure. It's a pretty big gamble, and I think most people would recognize giving up a destroyer for a battleship. That's not really a good trade, whereas the opposite is almost certainly worth it. Of course, there is a third option of me spotting this with my target acquisition system, turning to get all my guns facing them, and then firing and sinking them. So I think that's what I'll do.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
With the destroyer gone, my Kraken hunt began now. That's how it's done. And if you look at the minimap, we've got a 4v1 in the east with the Red Hood searching for the Northwest Passage. And most of the blue team over there can tend to either give chase or stay on the south of the map where there is very little action. Having stayed on B, which as you know stands for best spawn, and not just giving up control of the center of the map, I've pushed through and now have access to whatever I want. So I'm going to head up to the northeast to chase that hood. I'm just kidding. I'm going to come out here facing west and enjoy the backstage access pass, not leaving B, but instead pushing through it gives you like a broadside Jean Bart. And let me just pump the brakes a hair and finish capping this. Looks like that Jean Bart is going to turn away, but I'll get off one more shot before I switch to HE. I did see them extinguish a single fire there, so if I can get another fire on them, then that should do the trick and should finish them, I think. So let's not concern ourselves with these other ships right now. Let's just focus on that Jean Bart. Now that looks more like the typical dispersion I get with this. But we do get a fire. So we're looking pretty good now. The Jean Bart drops spot, but seeing as I would like to hasten their exit from this game, I'm going to launch a plane to hopefully get them spotted for me so I can get one more salvo on them. Unfortunately, that terrain gets in the way, and so we instead end up murdering an anthill. I am still hot to trot and remove this Jean Bart before they can heal or will to rebuild or anything, and as such, I'm going to just keep pushing forward until I have another shot at them. I was looking over my shoulder to see who had me spotted, but it is indeed that hood. And now I'm going to get just enough access that I should be able to get a shot off here. Looks like the Jean Bart's going to sink anyway, but let's make a thing of it. Alright, there we go. So now we have 3, and now we get to deal with a fan favorite, a goddamn Wichita. Now, if you were paying attention at the beginning, and I'm sure you were all doing that, but you'll remember that I said that this isn't a brawler. It just has too many areas where in a brawl you can be taking very decent damage from. So rather than push forward into the middle of the Wichita, Colorado, Siegfried, I'm going to do a hard to port side, and that is because I want to keep this island here separating me from at least one of those ships. Now, I don't know if this is a typical I only shoot HE Wichita player yet, but if it's not, then the combination of those 3 ships all firing at me could spell disaster. So strategic beaching it is, and then try to get angled to the biggest guns over there, which are the Colorados. As you all know, the Wichita is made of vibranium, so I am going to leave HE loaded here. I could try the AP if they give me a broadside, but I think at these ranges we would still be getting overpins, and if they bow tank, my AP will do relatively little. So it is an HE life for me, and it looks like this is an HE spamming Wichita as well. Now how does this HE not penetrate? 3 of those shells did not penetrate. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So at this point, I thought this Wichita was just going to ram me. And I was like, well, that's fine. I've got a super heal. Well, not quite a super heal, but... Well, we may as well talk about it now. The Monarch has the cubic zirconium to the Nelson's diamonds heal. It's very close. It looks nearly identical, but it isn't the same. And had this Wichita just used AP, I'd probably be sleeping with the fishes. But they can't be bothered to learn game mechanics when they can just take out a ship that puts the game in easy mode. So they can just keep blasting away with HE. But what's this? Maybe they didn't know that I had such a powerful heal. And look where we get our health right back up to just about 50,000 again. Get back here. One more. Alrighty, so Now we've got our 4 and our Siegfried. Look at this hit. Yeah, pretty decent hit there with AP, and that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to be engaged with all of those ships at the same time because I would definitely be put in a pickle, especially now that this hood is coming around here. Bow to the hood, but to the Siegfried in Colorado. And I can't say I'm familiar with the hood's armor layout, but I am near certain that it has a 25mm bow, in which case these AP can overmatch. So we will focus that and try and get our Kraken. I think that all the tier 6 battleships have 25mm bows. Anyway, they come in bow, and now we're going to focus and see if we can't get through the nose. Not too shabby. If I can get this rear turret turned around, we should be able to finish him off. But our Vladivostok, who has been chasing the hood for the better part of 5 minutes, finally finds what they've been searching for. And it was in front of them the entire time. I was a little concerned here that I was doomed, I say, but for whatever reason, this Siegfried had switched over to HE. So I'll be able to get another heal off, and I knew at this point that I was going to get a Kraken. The only question was, would I be picking up a 6-pack afterwards? Did you guys just see how low that Colorado is on health? Hard to starboard. This Colorado actually ends the game with 0 XP. So I'm not sure when they got disconnected because they're still moving at this point. But whatever. There we go. That's Kraken 214 in the Monarch. But we're not done. We got to get that 6-pack. Now, why did the Siegfried continue to shoot HE? I don't know. Maybe they're just making themselves an offering, but we got these 20-second reloads on here, and yeah, maintaining our good dispersion there and picking up the 6-pack. Scoreboard. 3,384 XP for a very good game. And if we look at the credits, not a bad effort by the blue team, but red team, you gotta pick it up. And a couple of ships who both got kills and were disconnected. But that's gonna wrap it up for this one. If you think all the British battleships should get access to a concealment mod and keep it unique to them, hit like. If you think the Vanguard will still be the worst, I'm not even gonna finish that, or this will be downvoted to eternity. Questions, comments, your favorite monarchs in history, leave them down below. And to take the grind and stress out of your busy workday, you can hit subscribe so as to not miss the next video. Can you believe that? Technology. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll get back out there for another one, and we will talk soon.